Chad Hasty Show, News Talk 790 KFYO. In studio with me to talk about his new movie, AmeriGEDDON. Almost said Armageddon. AmeriGEDDON. Mike Norris. Mike, you're a producer, correct?
Director on this film.
Director, yes, just about everything. You've been everything.
Well, yeah, on this film, when you do independent films, sometimes you got to multitask. Yeah. So I could go from catering to directing. Doesn't matter.
Wear a few different hats.
Yeah.
Tell folks a little bit about this movie, AmeriGEDDON.
You know what? AmeriGEDDON, like we like to say, is a true story that just hasn't happened yet. It deals with the electric grid going down in our country and the chaos that ensues afterwards, and what happens when that chaos takes place. Who becomes our authorities during that time? And in our film, it's the United Nations. And after the EMP, they want our guns. And it's one family of Texans that say, you're not taking our guns.
Very cool. Well, it's a movie that how did you get the idea behind the EMP? This is something that has been talked about in some circles. I don't know if it's widely talked about. At times it has been. At other times it's been kind of shushed. Former Vice President Dick Cheney, I remember him being on Sean Hannity's show a couple of years ago, and he was talking about his number one fear was the electric grid going down and what would happen after that. So what got you on the path to this movie?
Yeah, well, our executive producer, Gary Haven, wrote the screenplay for this. And he owned the Curves franchise, Curves for Women, and sold it to Jenny Craig. So now here's a man that's got all the money in the world. He's retired. And he decides, you know what, I want to start doing movies that kind of poke at the authorities in our country.
Poke at Hollywood.
And at first I'm like, hey, yeah, it's great, let's do it. Little did I know that, the timing would kind of coincide with what's going on with the world right now. But he, like you were saying about Dick Cheney and Sean Hannity, Gary Haven, there's a congressional report in 2008 that said the number one threat to our country is an attack on our power grid, which not many people really know about that, but all they have to do is a little research. Ted Koppel wrote a book about it. So it's now becoming more mainstream. And it's a scary fact because if this grid goes down, in 3 days, our country will be in absolute chaos when they know there is no power coming back on. And there's 50 million people that are reliant on government subsidies. People are going to do crazy things to feed their family and stay protected. And it's going to break up into two camps, I think. There's the patriots that are, let's fight this, and then the others that are just going to go on against each other.
When you put this movie out originally, I guess, and tried to get some backing out there, you ran into, I guess you would say, some issues. Wall, maybe?
Brick wall. Hollywood, nothing. They want nothing to do with this. They go, good movie, we get it, but we're not touching it. So we just kept pushing on it, and we kind of built our own team together and go, well, why don't we try to put it in a few theaters and see if that'll drum up interest? Well, we posted the trailer on YouTube or Facebook or something, and next thing you know, 1,000 views turns into 10,000, into 1 million. Our Facebook goes crazy, and the awareness, all of a sudden we're getting a lot of awareness about that. So that's what's really exciting to me, and why I'm here trying to tell everybody about it is, what this really is it's a call to action. It's a stand up and be counted thing. Hey, let's go to the movies this weekend and let's go see AmeriGEDDON. It's a lot like, A God's Not Dead, where not everybody's going to go see this movie, but they're saying, you know what, this is something I believe in. This is a cause I believe in. Let's go support it. And that's kind of how this has morphed into it. And we're just so thrilled that that's happening. So I appreciate everybody that's talking about it, that's going to go see it, because we really do need to stand up and be counted and our voices heard, saying, hey, we understand what's going on in this country, and if things go the way they could go, don't count us in on,
We're visiting with Mike Norris here in studio. AmeriGEDDON here in Lubbock. It premieres over at Movie 16 on May 13th. So people can go and get tickets for that, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think the times come out next week. I've never had a movie go into the theaters before, so it's all really new. But I guess on Monday they put out the times for when it's playing.
That's very cool. So what was it you think that, you brought up YouTube, you brought up, social media, really getting the ball rolling. Have you had any more response, I guess, from those in Hollywood, in the industry, that have been a little bit more open to, I guess, distributing and making your film a little more known?
Well, yeah. Now all of a sudden, we decide, okay, we're going to put this out in the theaters ourselves. We don't have the budget to go, in thousands of theaters. So we just kind of identified our market where we think, these are where patriots are. But all of a sudden, Entertainment One, Sony Pictures goes, oh, we kind of got something here. So we signed on with them for our DVD and VOD release. That'll come out in October. But, it's really important that for us to kind of prove a message to Hollywood saying, hey, there's another segment of the population out there. Look, I love all the movies that come out of Hollywood, and I go see them and I support them. But, this is just a small film. It's like that little engine that could, the little train that could. That's us. We were just this small movie that started gathering steam, and it is very much based on, patriots of this country, people that love the Second Amendment, people that love the Constitution. These are the people writing into us going, we're going to go out, we're going to have our voices heard, and we're going to stand to be counted, and we're coming to the movie theaters.
Well, and the movie that you're putting out is just one of, it seems like, many or a handful of conservative, independent movies that are shunned by the big boys in Hollywood.
No, that's absolutely true. Look, it's no secret. Hollywood is one big liberal agenda, and we've bucked that all the way through on every bit of this movie. It is very pro-America, pro-military, pro-Second Amendment. So, yeah, we ruffled some feathers, but, hey, I'm glad they're talking about it.
Very cool. Well, the movie AmeriGEDDON's coming out May 13th over here at Movie 16 here in Lubbock. Tell folks a little bit more about your background.
Look, I'm the son of Chuck Norris, so that kind of got me into the film industry.
Which is kind of cool, right? When you went around when you were younger, and my dad, that's my dad over there, Chuck Norris.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. Before my dad got into movies, he was the coolest guy I knew. When he became Chuck Norris, the movie star, it just kicked it up a whole notch. It was so fun, and just the things that I've been able to do because of who he is and what he's stood for is amazing. And being the son of Chuck Norris actually is very serious because he has worked really hard to create a name and a legacy for himself. The last thing I would ever want to do is to ruin that in any way.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike Norris, director, producer, many hats of AmeriGEDDON. Thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it.
May 13th at Movie 16 is when AmeriGEDDON comes out. You can go and watch it. I encourage you to do so. Sounds like it's going to be a great movie out there.